This is legit like a 2 or 3 day cold startup. What is up? It's your boy here bringing to you guys a brand new freaking video, man. So look, listen, today we got a fun one. Today we got an exciting one. Today we got a banger. All right, so we're gonna be talking about something that no Toyota Tacoma owner ever wants to admit. I'm buying a Ford. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but we're gonna be talking about rub. Will 285s fit stock? Will 285s fit on a 2-inch lift? Or how high do I need to go to clear 285s? So that's exactly what we're gonna talk about. Wow, I look extremely tall. That's exactly what we're gonna talk about in today's video in all its glory. The chrome is flexing 285 75 R16. Now this is my second go around, so I feel rather qualified to talk about what I'm about to talk about. But of course, before we start, a like, a comment, and a subscription is much appreciated. So you may be asking yourself this question because you're in the market, you're considering upgrading to 285 75s or 285 70 R17s. I struggled with this, and if you go into a Facebook group chat, if you go into any group chat really and ask this question, you are going to get absolutely destroyed. I don't understand why, because well, we were all there, we all wanted to know, and now that I know, I want to share that information with you. Let's go ahead and get the basics out the way. With my setup, does it rub? So I have 285 75 R16s. The wheel is a 16x8 with a -12 offset. So on the driver's side, this is what you're looking at as far as clearance goes. My hand fits through there, no problemo. My hand on this other side, my hand does not fit. I can't even get my hand around it. Now with this setup, do I rub? I know a lot of people have been asking me this question, and the answer is yes, I am rubbing. I'm rubbing a little bit, like a very small tiny bit. Now if you get your setup and you want to know where you're rubbing at, a quick tip is, so you see how that's all dirty? If you're rubbing, it'll look like this. It'll look very dirty, and then you'll have one spot that's just super clean. So that's how you know if you're rubbing, and you'll be able to tell right away. Like you'll hear the rub and you'll know at what point you're rubbing. Over here on this side, we're not rubbing at all, so that's good. On this side though, we are rubbing. As you guys can see right here, it's literally peeling off the paint, and it's a very uncomfortable noise. There's no other explanation other than you're rubbing. It's the most horrid feeling ever. Especially when you're trying to show off the truck, you're pulling out of McDonald's, you're going out of the mall, and then all you hear is rub, 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 rub. Trust me, it doesn't sound as pleasant as my voice. So that's the setup I have on this truck. On my previous truck, I had 285 70 R17s with a wider wheel. It was a 17x9 with a -12 offset. It was a bigger wheel and a wider wheel. So that gave me a little bit more rubbing problems. On that one, I did have to cut all of this off. Everything from the cab mount over had to come off, and then up front I did have to cut all of this. I did a viper cut. I didn't need to do a viper cut, but I did. Pretty much up to here is where I cut. You don't have to, you can just push it back, but I did. And then on this side, again, I did the same thing, cut up to here and then cut all off. Of course, because it was a viper cut, you know, you want to do both sides. Who does one thing on one side and then a different on the other? If you're going with the similar lift, 2.5 in the front, 1.5 in the rear. Now the 2.5 in the front is what you really need. In the rear you can do whatever, you don't even have to lift it. But in the front, I did do a 2.5-inch lift. That's what I did last time and it worked perfectly. That's what I did this time and it worked perfectly again. Going with the negative offset is only going to make things a little bit harder or a little bit easier depending on the wheel. A lot of people tell you not to get negative offset. They tell you stay away from it, don't go with it, do not do it. But let me tell you why I like to go with negative offset. Where you rub is right here, right? This is plastic. Right here, this is plastic. It's fine, whatever, we can cut it up. But let's say you're a noob to this game and you have absolutely no idea what you're trying to do and you go with positive offset. This is your upper control arm. This is your tire. Although we like them to be relatively close, we don't want them to be touching. If you get a tire with not enough offset, you're gonna push this tire way too much in and start rubbing right here. You are in a world of hurt. You're gonna have to find spacers. Are you gonna be comfortable running spacers? There's a lot more trouble that comes with it. I'm just not willing to deal with. So at the end of the day, you really have to pick your own poison. Do you wanna rub on plastic or do you wanna rub on your upper control arms? If you do rub on your upper control arms, then you're gonna get spacers to give you that offset that you originally wish you had. Will 285s rub on my Toyota Tacoma? If you're stock and you go with the 17x9 or a 16x8 with negative offset, it will rub horrendously bad. If you have a lift, around a 2-inch lift, you definitely can run these. I have a lot of buddies who run a 2-inch lift. I do have some buddies that have 6112s at a 2-inch lift that are running these tires. Now, a lot of people run a 2-inch lift with this, but let me tell you the secret: the alignment. The alignment is key. I promise you, if you go to an alignment shop that knows what they're doing, it's gonna be as close as perfect as possible. Versus if you go to your everyday Firestone, your everyday NTB, they're not really gonna know what they're doing to this type of vehicle. They're gonna say they are because they want the money, but do they really? What happens is you take this truck into an alignment shop. They pull up your VIN, they see the alignment specs that it needs, and that person puts it to that spec. Now that's great, that's nice and dandy if you were stock, but we're not. We're lifted. And we have wider wheels, we have wider tires. So when you try to put it back into spec, it does not line up. And then they tell you, oh, I don't know why you lift your truck so high in the first place, buddy. Well, listen here, loser. I told you this. You saw this. Why are you messing with my truck? And then they're gonna give you a bunch of blabble. They're not gonna give you your money back. So don't waste your time. Find an off-road shop that does alignments. Go on Facebook, ask them, has anyone got an alignment recently? Yes, and then you can go from there. You find what shop works best for you. If you're in Northern Virginia, shout out to Big Snatch Off-Road there in Fredericksburg. Just let them know Manny with the blue truck sent you, and I'm sure they'll hook you up. They've done 2 alignments on my trucks, and they are perfect. So to answer your question, will 285/75 R16s rub on a 2021 Toyota Tacoma? Yes, I think it's kind of inevitable. But with wise decision making and wise help, you can make it rub less. At least a 2-inch lift, 17x9, 16x8, a good alignment, you'll be a-okay. So with all that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like, a comment, and a subscription. But nonetheless, it's been your boy. I'm out like an Audi. I'll see you tomorrow. Cinco de Malo. Peace.